Well, nice to be here. Nice to be in Riyadh as well. Thank you for having me. I'm all the way from Amsterdam, just flew in last night. It's great to be back. I was last year also in Riyadh for the first time, and I think what you guys are doing here is just impressive.
Thank you so much.
To say. We're going to have a chat about vision, strategy of digital transformation. We're going to talk about technological innovations. We're going to talk about challenges and digital transformation. We're going to talk about sustainability. We're going to talk about the impact of work and the market. And of course, we're also going to talk about the future outlook. But let's start, Ryan, with the vision and strategy. How is digital technology influencing traditional real estate management and development in Saudi Arabia?
Well, thank you so much and welcome on board. I think this is started in early stages with the announcement of Vision 2030, with the housing program, the way that they treated the technology as disruptive and game changer rather than having the technology as a support function. From that time, NHC take the lead of treating technology related to the real estate as a main subject to take forward, starting with the enablement of the regulation that started at that time, and some of the regulations being created and some of the regulations being enhanced, along with the main mission of the housing program, which is the ownership. So a couple of platforms being released at that time start to be built, and we are seeing them today with the age of average 5 years, raising up the maturity of those platforms, maturity of the industry and maturity of people and regulation. Today we are seeing them today integrated with each other, providing the service and support the decision for all the stakeholders in the real estate.
Nice. So what are the main priorities of the National Housing Company regarding to digital transformation?
Well, National Housing Company has an edge where it's not only a technology company, it's not a real estate company, it's both, where they have the assets and access to the real estate and have the knowledge and investment and know-how in the technology. In the solution sector, we help in expediting and automating these steps. With those platforms, we are almost dealing with every aspect that is related to the real estate. More than 70% of the transactions related to the housing has something to do with those platforms operated by NHC.
Okay, cool. So you talked already a little bit about the Vision 2030, but how has the Vision 2030 impacted digital innovations in the real estate sector?
Well, the key information that is needed by the real estate stakeholders, either lender, buyer, investor, or even tenant, looking for in-spot accurate information, which digital could play big role in that, where maturity of the information, validation with the government agencies that has accurate information and integration, best offering related to the need from the applicant, and also decision for lending if needed. All of these aspects could be digitized and put it on a shape where the decision maker could execute the transaction faster.
What do you, maybe I ask one more question that we didn't do before this, before we start this interview. But what I like to know from you, when I look to Saudi Arabia, I see a massive vision, I see leadership, and when I look back where I'm from Europe, I miss sometimes a little bit of vision and leadership. How do you see that?
Well, it might be that we treated this as from top to down, where the mission being, the vision being structured well, and every pieces of this vision has a clear KPIs and moving forward in execution.
Yeah, so that helps a lot.
Indeed, and the speciality that NHC is working on, which is mainly the PropTech, where it treats technology as a main business line for it, and investing a lot in technology and having those 8 platforms, and early next year it will be around 10 platforms.
Yeah. Nice. So now we're going to talk about technological innovations. What technological trends do you see currently having the biggest impact on real estate?
Investment in data, with such a huge amount of data that's been passed through our operated platforms. The aggregation layer between those platforms, helping us in really putting the investment properly in the AI and tools that is needed to simulate and gather all this information. The other thing is the investment that is happening in newly technology with the digital twin, along with all different sectors. It's either a new building, it's an occupied building, it's a traffic management, and also...
So that's the digital twin?
Indeed, yes, digital twin. So it helps even urban designing, sales for real estates, and also traffic management. So everything related to the city could be executed by digital twin. It's a new technology. And having these platforms and the platforms that in NHC's portfolio will make us more brave in investing in such technology and taking it forward.
Nice. So how does digital technology help enhance the customer experience to home buyers or renters?
Well, customer experience is something that is in our blood. We have dedicated a lab for customer experience. We are treating customer experience as an ongoing activity, trying to manage the omni-channel between the physical and the digital in the customer experience. Dealing with real estates requiring either physical presence or information. Both type of information needs to be accommodated and gathered together in a simple platform that is easy to access for all the stakeholders.
So let's talk a little bit now about challenges that we have when we talk about digital transformation. What do you consider the biggest challenge in implementing digital transformation within the real estate industry?
Well, might be we have maybe the oldest transactions in the world, which is the real estate sell and buy, and we have new technology. So having the implementation of the new technology with the transactions that's been occurred long time ago is a challenge. Securing the data, respecting the privacy is another challenge of implementing technology.
Yeah.
This is happening, and the acceleration of the new technology, the new requirements, the detail of those prerequisites in order to have a full finished product as one of the challenges, where we are trying to avoid this with also interruption and changing the way that we are dealing with the existing problems.
Nice. Okay, well then, of course, a big topic everywhere in the world, I believe, is sustainability. How does digital transformation contribute to make the real estate sector more sustainable in Saudi Arabia?
And NHC, we treat the sustainability in two different angles. One is the sustainability of the real estate itself, where we have introduced Mustadam, which check the from the early stages with the design and implementation to secure the green buildings and sustainability for that building. Again, it's part of the providing the proper information for the decision making. The other part is the financial sustainability, where we are trying to make those platforms liquid enough to be sustainable and provide the proper service without degrading for any financial decreases.
Cool. And then the impact on work and the market. Do you see a shift in required skills for professionals in real estate sector due to digitalization?
Well, maybe the tech savvy needs to be part of real estate sales. Knowing how to read the outcomes from the AI's data analytics is needed also, in addition to the sales skills that every single job is in need for.
Okay, and how does technology contribute to make affordable housing maybe also accessible in Saudi Arabia?
Two part. The first one is the supply part, where providing the proper option in terms of sizes and prices. What we are doing in Sakani is providing as much as we can in terms of variety on the supply side, where applicant could go to the most suits and best suits based on the capacity that they could do. And the other side, where we have the demand side, where and the financing side, where we could also provide best option in terms of lending or even for charities to be able to contribute to the affordable housing.
Okay, and let's go and have a short chat about the future outlook. What do you see as the future of digitalization in the real estate industry for Saudi Arabia?
I think working as a driver, working as to provide omni-channel for the sector, being able to have accessibility to all the technology investors in order to either integrate, provide more services, helping in generating even new product related to the real estate attached with the technology as the key way forward. Having also a new investment coming from outside, reflecting other experience, is a key input from NHC's side. Relying also on the R&D, investing more into new technology and opening eyes for investors and startups to continue working on the real estate sector.
And what would your advice be for an early stage startup? What do they need to do?
I think with the even sandbox that's been announced today by Riga, it's a good place to start with. Majority of the regulation is in place related to the real estate. It needs enhancement. It needs a startup coming from different angle to invest more and start helping the industry and raising up the maturity as a key. I mean, every single aspect of the real estate, either finding, listing, financing, property management. do have a great opportunity, and we today having enough type of an amount of data that could be leveraged and creating a new product based on it.
Mooi. Are things developing within the new like technology waves of AI or blockchain? How do you see that?
Well, today we have started early with AI. We have started with the supply-demand matching as first stage, and then with the presence with the also Baladi will be having the good view on the maintenance, and which will help a lot the real estate sector and aging and sustainability, and also consuming the power and utility services. All these sectors could have enough trial and investment from the startups too.
Nice. And what about blockchain? It's relatively new. Is it already regulated here?
It's not yet regulated. Blockchain is in real estate is really very good example of having blockchain where we secure specific deeds, for example, or it could have started as a smaller scale and then getting wider to be across the whole country, but it's not yet regulated.
Cool. Well, last question that I have for you. What role does collaboration with other stakeholders, such as technology companies and startups, play in shaping digital transformation for the National Housing Company?
With the announcement of the sandbox, it's a really great opportunity for all the startups to start investing in the PropTech. It does have a good type of information. It's a lovely subject for all the community of Saudi for employment. It's mature industry, and the amount of investment in the real estate related to PropTech is not yet reached to a level where there will be still a green field and area to continue working on.
So there's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah. I advise you to come in.
Me to come?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see. I need to convince my wife and my 2 kids to come as well. But it was great talking to you about the future of real estate.
Thank you so much.
Very much. And thank you very much.
Thank you.